At 60, more than half of men worldwide have faced some degree of erectile dysfunction. And the most alarming part? Only a minority seek real help. Many stay silent, withdraw from their partners, and live a life of quiet in the bedroom. But what if I told you there's a simple, affordable, and scientifically backed solution that can change this reality? My name is Dr. William Tharnell. I'm a specialist in elderly health, with over 25 years of experience in geriatrics and integrative medicine. And today, I'm going to reveal something surprising: the right way to use an ingredient likely already in your kitchen, baking soda, can restore your vitality, your confidence, and yes, your intimacy. George. He's 68, retired, a father of 3, and a grandfather of 5. For the last 3 years, George hadn't been intimate with his wife. They slept together but didn't touch. The connection faded, and with it, his self-esteem. In today's video, I'll tell you how George reversed this. Without expensive medications, invasive procedures, just a simple adjustment in how he consumes something he already had at home. Plus, you'll understand how baking soda works in the body, what to do, what to avoid, and the step-by-step guide to applying this to your routine. Before we continue, I invite you to subscribe to this channel. Here, you'll get exclusive, direct, and science-based content, always focused on your health, dignity, and family life. Now, let's explore what happens when intimacy begins to fade. George never spoke to anyone about this. Not his children, not his friends, and certainly not his wife. What was once affection, presence, and touch turned into silence. Sleeping beside the one you love but feeling an invisible wall between you. An awkward silence that grows night after night. This is the reality for millions of men worldwide. Men who haven't lost love but have lost confidence in their bodies. Men who still desire but feel they've failed. Men who replace intimacy with excuses of fatigue, fear of trying and failing. And why does this happen? Society has taught men to stay silent, to endure everything quietly. But this silence comes at a high cost. It drives couples apart, destroys relationships, and erodes the self-esteem of those who were once secure and confident. If you feel you're living something similar to George, know this: you're not alone. And no, this isn't the end. On the contrary, it's the beginning of change. In the next chapters, we'll explore what really happens to a man's body after 60 and why baking soda can be a powerful ally when used correctly. At 60, the body undergoes natural but often overlooked changes. The first and most important is reduced efficient blood circulation, especially in the areas most critical for intimacy. The vascular system, which once pumped blood effortlessly throughout the body, now struggles with stiffness, microinflammations, and acidic waste buildup. The result? Less irrigation, less sensitivity, less response. Additionally, there's a gradual decline in testosterone levels, the hormone responsible not just for sexual desire but also for energy, mood, and even mental clarity. This decline isn't a life sentence but must be taken seriously. Another silent yet decisive factor is pH imbalance in the body. As we age, the body tends to become more acidic, an environment that fosters inflammation, damages blood vessels, and negatively impacts sexual performance. The good news? All these factors can be adjusted. And one of the simplest, most surprising allies is within everyone's reach: baking soda. But before discussing how to use it, it's important to understand what it really is and why integrative medicine has taken such an interest in it for elderly health. When we talk about baking soda, most people think of baking, heartburn, or household cleaning. But what many don't know is that this substance, when used correctly, can help the body restore the internal balance lost with age. Baking soda is an alkalizing compound. This means it helps neutralize excess acidity in the body, an environment that promotes chronic inflammation, impairs circulation, and compromises the proper functioning of various bodily systems, including the male reproductive system. International studies have observed that mild, controlled alkalization of the body can improve blood fluidity, reduce arterial and vascular inflammation, and even enhance oxygen distribution to tissues. The secret lies in the right dosage, method of consumption, and timing. When respected, the effects can be surprising: more energy, less pain, improved digestion, better sleep, and yes, improved erectile function. But beware, this isn't about miracles or empty promises. It's about a natural, evidence-based strategy used by doctors focused on prevention and longevity. An approach that respects the mature male body and can be applied without suffering, medication dependency, or loss of autonomy. In the next few minutes, you'll learn exactly how to prepare and consume baking soda safely for real results. Baking soda can be a powerful ally, but only if used wisely and cautiously. Random consumption won't help. The secret lies in the method, frequency, and timing. Here's the safest, most recommended protocol for men over 60. Quantity: half a flat teaspoon, about 2 grams, of baking soda. Preparation: dissolve it completely in a glass of 200 milliliters of warm water. Warm water aids absorption and digestion. Best time: take it on an empty stomach in the morning, at least 30 minutes before any meal. This maximizes alkalizing effects and avoids digestion interference. Frequency: use for 5 consecutive days, then pause for 2. Resume for another 5 days. This cycle prevents kidney overload and allows the body to adjust. Important: never exceed the recommended amount. Excess can cause stomach imbalances or blood pressure issues. This simple routine, paired with a light, vegetable-rich diet, can create a cleaner, less acidic internal environment, much more conducive to good circulation, including in intimate areas. George followed this protocol meticulously. At first, he was skeptical, but in less than 2 weeks, he began feeling something he hadn't experienced in years: morning energy, a lighter body, and something even more important: hope. Now, you'll understand why this simple white compound can drive such profound changes, and what science says about it. Modern medicine has increasingly focused on bodily pH balance as a key factor in elderly health. Here, baking soda stands out. Studies from the National Institutes of Health and publications in the Journal of Clinical Hypertension indicate that controlled baking soda consumption can help reduce blood acidity, which, in turn, improves endothelial function, or the ability of blood vessels to dilate and contract properly. Why does this matter? Because erections depend directly on vasodilation. If blood doesn't flow well, the intimate response doesn't happen. And the more inflamed or acidic the body is, the worse this capacity becomes. Additionally, evidence suggests baking soda helps regulate blood carbon dioxide levels, enhancing cellular oxygenation. This means more energy, less fatigue, and improved cardiovascular health, all impacting sexual life. Another key point: controlled baking soda use has been shown to reduce mild metabolic acidosis, which is linked to joint pain, poor digestion, and worsened kidney function, common issues after 60. But it's crucial to emphasize, benefits only occur with responsible use. That's why following the protocol above is essential. George had no idea about this. He only started because he trusted the process, and because he couldn't bear living in silence any longer. But what happened next even surprised his wife. Before learning about baking soda's effects, George tried everything. He bought pills advertised online, wasted money on empty promises, and even turned to medications that initially seemed to work, but soon caused side effects: headaches, high blood pressure, and chest discomfort. He avoided looking his wife in the eye. Not for lack of love, but because he felt he was failing as a man. "It was like my identity had vanished," he said. "It wasn't just intimacy that was gone. It was my confidence, my place in the relationship." This is the most common mistake: trying to solve a physical problem with dangerous shortcuts without addressing the root cause. George was treating the symptom, the lack of intimate response, but ignoring the cause: an inflamed body, compromised circulation, years of accumulated fatigue. It was during a chat with an old friend, Michael, that he first heard about baking soda. At first, he found it strange. Baking soda? Isn't that for cooking? He laughed. But by then, George was ready to try something natural, risk-free, and science-backed. He decided to follow the exact protocol you just learned. And what happened in the following weeks completely changed his life. In the next chapter, we'll see what changed, and how small transformations gave George back what he thought was lost forever. 3 weeks after starting the baking soda protocol, George woke up feeling different. It wasn't just physical energy. It was emotional lightness. For the first time in years, he felt his body responding again. He began walking in the mornings, slept better, felt less bloating and heartburn, symptoms he hadn't even linked to his intimate struggles. Then, one ordinary night, something unexpected happened. Touch returned. His wife, Mary, hugged him like she used to. And he didn't pull away. This time, there was confidence. His body responded. And more importantly, the emotional connection returned too. George described the moment as a reunion. Not just with Mary, but with himself. It was like coming home after a long winter, he said. And that's the most powerful part. This isn't just about sex. It's about presence, self-esteem, looking in the mirror and recognizing yourself again. This is the power of the right strategy, applied with patience and consistency. But beware, baking soda isn't for everyone. And it's crucial to know who should avoid it. Despite its benefits, baking soda isn't suitable for all. Some health conditions require caution or even total avoidance. Who should avoid baking soda? People with uncontrolled high blood pressure. Baking soda contains sodium, which can worsen unmonitored hypertension. Even small amounts can interfere with blood pressure regulation. Those with chronic kidney disease. The kidneys are responsible for balancing the body's pH. If already compromised, baking soda can overburden them and cause fluid retention. Diabetics with uncontrolled blood sugar. In some cases, baking soda can interfere with insulin response and acid-base metabolism, requiring closer monitoring. People on continuous heart medication. Since baking soda can alter blood pH and medication absorption, consulting a doctor before use is essential. If you fall into any of these groups, don't worry. There are other natural, effective strategies tailored to your specific conditions. But never decide alone. Medical consultation is a critical part of this process. Fortunately, George had none of these restrictions. But he also only started after checking with his doctor, a choice that ensured safety and results. Now, let's reveal what might be sabotaging your results without you even realizing it. Many men do everything right, but see no results. The reason may lie in invisible habits silently undermining intimate health recovery. The main culprits: acidic, inflammatory diet, excess processed meats, refined sugar, fried foods, and sodas create an acidic body environment. This cancels baking soda's alkalizing effects, inflaming vessels and impairing circulation. Chronic sedentariness. Sitting all day reduces tissue oxygenation and natural hormone production. Even short daily walks make a difference and amplify the protocol's results. Accumulated stress. Constant stress raises cortisol, which blocks testosterone and harms blood flow. Simple breathing techniques, prayer, or meditation can help. Lack of hydration. Blood needs water to circulate well. A dehydrated body is sluggish, with dry tissues and compromised responses. Overuse of unprescribed medications. Many over-the-counter drugs directly affect erectile function, especially antacids, anxiolytics, and certain painkillers. George only realized this after reviewing his routine carefully. He replaced white bread with whole grain, started walking around the block with his grandson, and drank more water. Small adjustments, but the impact was huge. Now that you know what to avoid, the next chapter will show you the ideal routine for an active 60-plus man, combining everything we've learned. You don't need to live like an athlete to have intimate health and energy at 60 or 70. But you must respect your body and create a routine that supports its optimal function. The ideal, simple, and effective routine. Upon waking, start the day with warm water and baking soda, following the protocol above. This wakes the digestive system and helps alkalize the body. Light physical activity. 10 to 20 minutes of outdoor walking. In the yard, park, or street. Just move daily. This boosts circulation, releases feel-good hormones, and protects the heart. Smart eating. Include more vegetables, low-glycemic fruits, nuts, olive oil, and whole grains. Avoid fried foods, processed meats, refined sugar, and excess salt. Constant hydration. Drink at least 1.5 liters of water daily. If struggling, use small bottles throughout the day or add lemon slices or mint for flavor. Quality sleep. Sleep 6 to 8 hours nightly. Avoid TV or phones before bed. Deep sleep regulates essential hormones, including those impacting sexual health. Time for joy. Read, listen to music, talk to friends, hug your grandchildren. Emotional well-being is a pillar of true intimacy. George adopted this routine gradually. He wasn't perfect, nor did he need to be. But he was consistent. And that changed everything. Now, you'll hear other real-life transformation stories. Ordinary men, like you, who reclaimed their vitality with simple steps. George wasn't alone. After sharing his experience with friends his age, others tried the strategy. Frank, 73, a widowed Navy retiree, faced constant pain, low energy, and no motivation to date again. "I thought my intimate life ended at 70, he said. But after 3 weeks on the protocol, he felt more energy, resumed walks, and started a new relationship with an old flame. Michael, 66, married for over 40 years, had given up on intimacy out of fear of failure. His wife thought he'd lost interest. But the problem was physical, not emotional. After adjusting his diet, starting the baking soda protocol, and walking daily, their relationship revived. "We rediscovered each other after decades," he said emotionally. These stories share one thing. None of them made radical changes. They just took control with simple, consistent, safe steps. Now it's your turn. If you've made it this far, something inside you wants to change. And perhaps what you're seeking isn't just a solution for intimacy, but a way back to yourself, to your dignity, vitality, and presence at home. And that's possible. More than possible, it's necessary. At 60, 70, or 80, a man doesn't lose the right to feel, love, or desire. But to do so, he must stop accepting what culture imposes, that aging equals surrender. It doesn't. What ages first isn't the body, it's hope. And today, you've discovered there is hope. You've learned that a simple compound in your kitchen can indeed be part of a larger recovery process. Not alone. Not as a miracle. But as part of a routine that respects your time, body, and story. George isn't a hero. Frank isn't an exception. Michael isn't different from you. They just made one decision, not to accept silence as an answer. They understood that intimacy isn't a life detail, it's an expression of the soul. And keeping it alive is possible, dignified, and deeply human. So here's my invitation: care for yourself with love. Give your body the chance to function as it was meant to. Eat wisely. Breathe deeply. Choose to live with more lightness, dignity, and presence. You deserve it. If this message resonated with you, type 1 in the comments. Share your experience, doubts, or hopes. Your story may inspire other silent men. And if you want more content like this, clear, science-backed, and made for men who value life and health, like this video, follow the channel, and subscribe now. This helps us keep sharing knowledge with those who need it most. I'm Dr. William Tharnell, and I'll see you in the next video.